Welcome to State Engineering Service Examination section of Winds of Change. In this, we will cover so many questions of objective types for State Engineering Service Examination as well as for SSCJ examination also. If you find any difficulty, any problem, mail me at windsofchange2020@gmail.com. If you find this video suitable for you, you may like this video and comment for any feedback. And to download the study material, you may download our app of Winds of Change from the Google Play Store. Welcome to fourth video in the continuation of 120 questions of highway and traffic engineering. In this video, we will cover question number 91 to 120. So let's begin with the 91st question. Select the correct statement among these. Prime coat is an application of the low viscous cutback bitumen to an adsorbent surface, or the purpose of the prime coat is to coat and bond loose material particles on the surface of the base, or a tack coat is sprayed on the surface of an existing asphalt or concrete pavement by a distributed truck immediately prior to placing of overlay, or all of the above. So if the tack coat is it applicable for the existing asphalt pavement? So I think this statement is correct. We all know that tack coat is applicable on existing pavement and it is being distributed using the distributed truck immediately prior to placing of an overlay. And what is the purpose of the prime coat? Prime coat is to coat and bond the loose material particles on the surface of the base. So it is also correct statement. And prime coat is an application of the low viscous cutback bitumen. Low viscous, why we use? Because so that it can spread uniformly over the adsorbent surface like an aggregate. So obviously all of the above will be the correct statement. So option D will be correct. Okay. Next question. Which of the following represents hardest grade of bitumen? 30/40, 60/70, 80/100 or 100/120. Just think about it. We have explained about the grading of the bitumen in the previous video. Here the hardest grade of bitumen will be the one which will be having the highest viscosity. So the penetration value will be minimum. That is the lowest penetration value will be the hardest grade of bitumen. So what will be the answer? It will be option A, that is 30/40, which is having the lowest penetration value of 3 to 4 mm. So it will be the hardest grade of bitumen. Next question. Tire pressure influence the total depth of pavement, quality of surface coats, both of the above or none of the above. We are talking about the tire pressure. Tire pressure influence which one? Think about it. The tire pressure influences quality of the surface coats. That is option B is correct. The tire pressure which affects the road surface, and the contact pressure is the one which affects the total depth of pavement, which was given in option 1. If the contact pressure was been asked, then it will affect the total depth of pavement. Okay. Next question. When the bitumen surfacing is done on an already existing blacktop road or over existing cement concrete road, the type of the treatment given is seal coat, tack coat, prime coat, or spray of the emulsion. I think we have already seen this question as the first question of this video, where we have discussed the prime coat and tack coat. Since in this question an already existing blacktop pavement, there is a bituminous surfacing is done on the already existing blacktop pavement, so it will be the tack coat. That is option B will be the correct answer. This is the application of the tack coat. You can watch it here. It is an existing pavement on which the tack coat is being done, and after which there will be an overlay of the next level of aggregates. Next question. The value of the ruling gradient in planes as per the IRC recommendation is 1 in 12, 1 in 15, 1 in 20 or 1 in 30. This is an easy question. You can easily find it out. But we are talking about the plain terrain, not the hilly or mountainous terrain. So what will be the answer? Just think about it. It will be 1 in 30. It will be given by IRC as 1 in 30. While for the mountainous terrain, this value is 1 in 20. That was given in option C. Okay, so here the correct statement, in the plain terrain, the ruling gradient will be 1 in 30. Next question. Which of the following test measures the toughness of the road aggregate? Crushing strength, abrasion test, impact test or shape test? Think about it. Very easy question. It will be impact test, which will determine the toughness of the road aggregate. This is impact test, which we have already discussed in the revision video of the highway material and pavement design. You can watch this video from the link in the description box. We are moving further to the next question. The minimum design speed for the hairpin bends in hill road is taken as 20 kmph, 30 kmph, 40 kmph or 50 kmph. Just think about it. This will be given in the Hill Road manual. It will be taken as option A, that is 20 kmph. 20 kmph is the minimum design speed for hairpin bends. Next question. For the construction of the waterbound macadam roads, the correct sequence of the operation after spreading coarse aggregate is, we have already spread the coarse aggregate. Now what we will do in the WBM construction? Dry rolling, wet rolling, application of screening and then application of the filler, or dry rolling, then application of the filler, then wet rolling, then application of the screening, or dry rolling, application of the screening, wet rolling and application of the filler, or dry rolling, application of the screening, application of the filler and then wet rolling. Just think about it. First of all, we will do the dry rolling, which is absolutely correct. Then we will go for the application of the screening, and after that we will go for the wet rolling and then we will apply the filler. So option C will be the correct answer. Please memorize it, it is important. Option C will be the correct statement, in which first of all we will do the dry rolling, then screening is done, then wet rolling and then filler will be applied. Next question. Softening point of the bitumen to be used for the road construction at a place where maximum temperature is 40 degrees Celsius should be less than 40 degrees Celsius, greater than 40 degrees Celsius, equal to 40 degrees Celsius, or none of the above. So in this one, surrounding temperature is 40 degrees Celsius, so obviously the bitumen has to withstand a temperature more than this. So what will be the answer? It will be option B, that is greater than 40 degrees Celsius. Softening point test is also explained in the video of revision of highway material and pavement design. Next question. The maximum allowable Los Angeles aberration value for highway construction is 10%, 20%, 30% or 40%. We are talking about the maximum allowable Los Angeles aberration value. Just think about it. It will be option D, that is 40%. It is being explained in the same video. That is maximum value of the Los Angeles that can be adopted for the highway pavement, that will be 40%. Okay. Next question. The binder normally used for in the flexible pavement construction is cement, lime, bitumen or none of the above. Normally used binder, which one will be? It is very easy question. Since we are talking about the flexible pavement, in the flexible pavement the mainly used binder is bitumen. Option C will be the correct answer. Next question. To calculate the minimum value of the rolling radius of the horizontal curves in plane, the design speed is given by 8 kmph, 12 kmph, 16 kmph or 20 kmph. Now we are talking about the minimum value of the rolling radius of horizontal curve in plane areas. If we have to calculate that one, then the design speed that will be given by 16 kmph, that is option C will be the correct answer. Memorize it, it is an important question. Next question. The effect of grade on safe overtaking side distance is to increase it on the descending grade and to decrease it on the ascending grade, or to decrease it on the descending grade and to increase it on the ascending grades, or to increase it on both descending as well as ascending grades, or decrease it on both descending as well as the ascending grade. Just think about it. What will be the effect of gradient, that is the grade that will be provided in the road on the safe overtaking side distance? The answer will be, it will be increased on both the cases. In case of the descending gradient, since there will be visibility but the acceleration will be higher in that case, so that is why the distance required will be more, while in case of the ascending gradient there will be less visibility, so that is why the distance covered will be more while the acceleration will be lower. Okay, so option C will be the correct answer. Next question. Compared to the level surface on a descending gradient, the stopping side distance is less, more, same or dependent on the speed. It can be easily determined by the formula of the stopping side distance in which the gradient is being given. The answer will be, it will be more. How it is so? Let's find it out. In the formula of SSD, you can see SSD equal to Vt plus V square upon 2G F plus minus N upon 100, where N, this N is the slope, that is in 1 in N. Here it is being given that on a descending gradient, this value will become minus, this will be negative sign here. So obviously this factor will decrease, so total this factor will increase, so SST will also be increased. Okay, so as compared to the level surface on the descending gradient, the SST will be more. Okay, next question. Los Angeles testing machine is used to conduct abrasion test, impact test, attrition test or crushing strength test. It is very easy question, you all know about the Los Angeles test. What will be the answer? Just think about it. It will be abrasion test, that is option A. We have already explained the abrasion test. Abrasion test, there are various abrasion test of Los Angeles test, Davell abrasion test or Dory abrasion test. These are being done to determine the hardness value of the aggregates. This is being explained in the video of revision of highway material and pavement design. You can go to that video from the link in the description box. Next question. The group index of a soil whose liquid limit is 40%, plasticity index is 10% and percentage passing 75 micron sieve is 35 is 0, 3, 5 or 7. Just think about it. Can you recall the formula of group index? Group index is 0.2a plus 0.005 AC plus 0.01 BD. If we try to determine A, B, C and D, then what will be the value of the group index? Try to find it out. You can use your notebook also. So I am solving it here. This is the formula for group index. Now the value of the A that is the percentage of the soil passing 75 micron sieve in excess of the 35% not exceeding 75. So in excess of 35% it is already 75, 35 minus 35 it will be 0, while value of the B this will be is 35 minus 15, okay, which will be 20, and value of the C, what is C? C is the liquid limit in percent in excess of 40. Since liquid limit is already 40, so it will become 40 minus 40 equal to 0, and value of D that is plasticity index in excess of 10 and which is already 10% plasticity, so it will be 0. So the answer will be group index value will become 0 by multiplying all the factors. Option A will be the correct answer, that is 0. Next question. Select the correct statement. Traffic volume should always be more than traffic capacity. Traffic capacity should always be more than traffic volume. Or spot speed is the average speed of a vehicle at a specified section. Or 85th percentile speed is more than 98th percentile speed. Just think about it. Which statement is correct among these four? First of all, traffic volume should always be more than traffic capacity. What is traffic capacity? Traffic capacity is the maximum amount of the traffic volume that can occur on a given road in an ideal condition. So the value of the traffic capacity will be maximum. So it will be traffic capacity will be always more than traffic volume, which was given in the statement second, that is traffic capacity should always be more than traffic volume. This should be the correct statement. Let's see the other statements. Spot speed is the average speed of a vehicle at a specified section, which is not true. Spot speed is the instantaneous speed, and 85th percentile speed is more than 98th percentile speed, which is also incorrect because 98th percentile speed is the design speed, which is the maximum speed. Okay, so the answer that will be correct here will be option B, that is traffic capacity should always be more than traffic volume. Next question. A traffic rotary is justified when number of intersecting roads is between 4 and 7, space is limited and costly, when traffic volume is less than 500 vehicle per hour, or when the traffic volume is more than 3000 vehicle per hour. Just think about it. What will be the traffic rotary conditions when the traffic rotary is preferred? Just think about it. First of all, the first statement is correct and option A will be the correct one only, that is the number of the intersecting road is between 4 and 7. In that case, the traffic rotary is preferred. Okay, below 4 or equal to 4, there can be a possibility of the signalized intersection also, but after 4, obviously we will go for the rotary. Space is limited and costly, which is incorrect because rotary will require a lot of space. When traffic volume is less than 500 vehicle per hour, then we will not prefer, because the traffic rotary is preferred in between the traffic volume count of 500 to 3000 vehicle per hour. So the fourth statement will also become incorrect. Okay, so only option A will be the correct answer. Next question. On a single lane road with two-way traffic, the minimum stopping side distance is equal to, we are talking about the minimum stopping side distance on single lane road and two-way traffic. Stopping distance, 2 times of stopping distance, half the stopping distance, or 3 times stopping distance. Just think about it, very easy question. We are talking about single lane road and there is two-way traffic, so traffic will be coming from the opposite direction also. So in that case, the stopping side distance of the vehicle coming from forward direction and the SST of the vehicle coming from the opposite direction, these two will sum up with each other to form the 2 times of the stopping side distance. That is option B will be the correct answer, 2 times the stopping side distance. Next question. Flexible pavement distribute the wheel load directly to subgrade through structured action, through a set of layers to a subgrade, or none of the above. Just think about it. Flexible pavement distribute the wheel load. There is a grain to grain distribution of the load in the layered manner in flexible pavement, while in case of the rigid pavement, it is the beam action or slab action that takes place. So here we are talking about the flexible pavement. So in the flexible pavement, there will be distribution of the wheel load through a set of layers to the subgrade. So option C will be the correct answer. Okay, 98th percentile limit is the speed of the vehicle that will be preferred for the design purpose, while 85th percentile will be the upper limit of the speed on the road. Okay, and 15th percentile will be the lower limit of the speed on the road. Next question, select the incorrect statement. Stop or red time of signal is the sum of go and clearance interval for the cross flow. Go or green time of the signal is the sum of stop and clearance interval for the cross flow. Clearance time is generally 3 to 5 seconds. The cycle length is normally 40 to 60 seconds for two-phase signals. Just think about it. Which one will be the incorrect statement? In the red time of the signal, the sum of go and clearance interval for the cross flow is being taken into the count. So this statement will be correct one. But in the go or green time of the signal, the sum of stop and clearance interval for the cross flow is being taken, which is incorrect. Okay, so what will be the correct answer? It will be option B. And other statements which are correct, we have to memorize. Clearance time is generally between 3 to 5 seconds and the cycle length is normally between 40 to 60 seconds for a two-phase signal. Okay, so incorrect is only option B. Next question. The diagram which shows all important physical condition of an accident location like roadway limits, bridges, trees and all details of roadway condition is known as pie chart, spot map, condition diagram, collision diagram. We have already talked about the collision diagram in a question in the previous video. So what will be the answer? Just think about it. It will be condition diagram, that is option C will be the correct one. This is a typical example of condition diagram in which all these things are being depicted. Okay, this is the picture from some urban country. Next question. Coefficient of friction is less when pavement surface is rough, dry, smooth and dry or smooth and wet. This is very easy question. This is not related to pavement only. Wherever you can feel it, you can answer it. Obviously, the coefficient of friction will be very less in case of smooth and wet surface. So option D will be the correct answer. Next question. If the stopping side distance is 60 meters, then the minimum stopping side distance for two-lane two-way traffic is 30 meters, 60 meters, 120 meters or 180 meters. We have already discussed a question like this, but in that case it was single lane two-way traffic, but here we are talking about two-lane two-way traffic. So there is lane defined for each traffic direction. So how much will be the SST? It will be equal to SST only, minimum stopping side distance will be equal to SST only, which will be 60 meters, which was given in the question. So option B will be the correct answer. If it has been the condition that it is single lane two-way traffic, then this distance would have been 120 meters, that is 2 times of SST. Next question. Group index method of the design of flexible pavement is theoretical method, empirical method based on the physical properties of subgrade soil, or an empirical method based on the strength characteristic of subgrade soil, or a semi-empirical method. Just think about it. This is an important question. The group index method of design of flexible pavement. This is an empirical method based on physical properties of subgrade soil. Okay, option B will be the correct answer. This is an empirical method. Group index method is an empirical method and it is based upon the physical properties of subgrade soil. Next question. The camber of the road should be approximately equal to longitudinal gradient, 2 times the longitudinal gradient, 3 times the longitudinal gradient or half the longitudinal gradient. Just think about it. It is being a question of approximation. So these kind of question usually not asked in the examination because this is based on approximation. But we should know a little bit about it. The camber of road should be approximately equal to the half of the longitudinal gradient. Option D will be the correct answer. Memorize it. It is important. Next question. Which of the following shapes is preferred in valley curve? Simple parabola, cubic parabola, spiral or landscape? Think about it. Important question. In case of the valley curve, the preferred shape is cubic parabola. That is option B is correct. In case of transition curve, the preferred shape is spiral. Okay, these two are important in the valley curve, cubic parabola, and in the transition curve, spiral. memorize it. Next question, which of the following is indicated by a warning sign? Level crossing, no parking, end of speed limit, or overtaking prohibited? Think about it. Which of the following is indicated by the warning sign? What will be the answer? It will be a level crossing, that will be indicated by warning sign. While no parking, this is a prohibitory sign. Overtaking prohibited is also prohibitory sign, while end of speed limit is an informatory sign. So obviously only the warning sign here will be of level crossing. Okay, option A will be the correct one. Next question and the last question of this sequence of 120 questions. Thickness of a pavement may be reduced considerably by compaction of soil, stabilization of soil, drainage of soil, or combination of all of the above. Just think about it. How the thickness of the pavement will be changed? It will be the combination of all of the above. These all will act to reduce the thickness of the pavement. Okay, there will be compaction, which will remove the voids, stabilization of the soil, drainage of the soil. It is a process of consolidation. Okay, so all these three in the combination of each other, it will lead to the reduce in the thickness of the pavement. Okay, so here we will finish with highway and traffic engineering questions. In the next video we will come with some other subject. Till that, subscribe to this channel and download the app of Winds of Change.